Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. Tonight we're going to be, hey Osito, what you doing, buddy? Tonight we're going to be reading out of Numbers 12:1. He had married an Ethiopian woman. You up here? Come on. There you go. The whole verse says, Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. They didn't like that. They didn't like that he married an Ethiopian, I guess. Were upset that he had done that. Let's find out why. So, Miriam and Aaron oppose Moses. Let's go to the previous chapter. Let's see if there's anything context-wise we can get out of the last part. Oh, this is when they were the plague with the quail. Okay, so that's the event that happened. So now we're getting into this. So we'll start in verse 1. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. So they said, Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? And the Lord heard it. Now, the man Moses was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. He very, very humble. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, Come out, you three, to the tabernacle of meeting. So the three came out. I just picture like a mom standing on a porch. You three get over here. Verse 5, Then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. Then he said, Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. So he spoke to Moses. Moses and God were friends. They spoke as if they were friends. They were friends with each other. They talked like that. Moses could walk into the Holy of Holies and sit down and have a conversation with the Lord, whereas Aaron can only do it once a year. I speak with him face to face, even plainly, and not in dark sayings. And he sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the anger of the Lord was aroused against them, and he departed. And when the cloud departed from above the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. Then Aaron turned toward Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb. So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, Please heal her, O God, I pray. Then the Lord said to Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be shamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and afterward she may be received again. And that's exactly what happened. Strange choice of Moses. But how much more strange the choice of him who is a prophet like unto Moses, and greater than he. Our Lord, who is fair as the lily, has entered into marriage union with one who confesses herself to be black because the sun has looked upon her. It is the wonder of angels that the love of Jesus should be set upon poor, lost, guilty men. That's all of us, y'all. Strange choice indeed. We wonder why sometimes. Well, Lord, why us? Each believer must, when filled with a sense of Jesus' love, be also overwhelmed with astonishment that such love should be lavished on an object of utterly unworthy of it. That's us. And we think that way. I am unworthy of his love, quite specifically and quite fully. And yet he gives it to me anyway. It's amazing. I say that all the time. It's amazing that we have this gift of salvation. It's a miracle that we have faith now in these times that we live in. Look at how many people don't. Look at how many people are being exposed as not having it. Knowing as we do our secret guiltiness, unfaithfulness, and black-heartedness, we are dissolved in grateful admiration of the matchless freeness and sovereignty of grace. Jesus must have found the cause of his love in his own heart. He could not have found it in us, for it is not there. Even since our conversion, we have been black, though grace has made us comely. Holy Rutherford said of himself, what we must each subscribe to. His relation to me is that I'm sick, and he is the physician of whom I stand in need. That would be Jesus, the physician. Alas, how often I play fast and loose with Christ. He bindeth, I loose. He buildeth, I cast down. I quarrel with Christ, and he agreeth with me 20 times a day. Most tender and faithful husband of our souls, pursue thy gracious work of conforming us to thine image. Have I not asked for this for all of us? I have, because that's what I want. I want us to be more like him, and I know you guys do, too. Till thou shalt present even us, poor Ethiopians, unto thyself, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing. That's what the whole purpose of what we're doing here now is we're being prepared for that time. He's preparing us to be presented without spot or wrinkle. The Lord is doing this work. The Lord is leading us down this path. He's doing it right now as we speak. Moses met with opposition because of his marriage, and both himself and his spouse were the subjects of an evil eye. Can we wonder if this vain world opposes Jesus and his spouse, and especially when great sinners are converted? And that's the case. They do hate Jesus, and they hate Christians, the church. Hate us with a passion. Matter of fact, our enemies around the world have said, we're coming for the Jews first, we're coming for the Christian next, and we're coming for America third. And they're doing that right now. Can we wonder if this vain world opposes Jesus and his spouse, and especially when great sinners are converted? For this is ever the Pharisees' ground of objection. This man receiveth sinners. Still is the old cause of quarrel revived, because he had married an Ethiopian woman. They looked down on Ethiopians back then. They looked down on dark skin back then. Dark skin was a bad thing. Even if it was suntanned, it was a bad thing. Regardless of our faults, regardless of our shortcomings, regardless of our darkness, our blackness, our evil, regardless of our lack of faith, lack of works, lack of everything, the Lord loves us regardless. He wants us to be saved. For the unsaved, this is a miracle. For the saved, this is encouragement. Confirming what we already know. The Lord saves sinners, of which I am chief. And I'm so glad he does. Because if he didn't, none of us would have a hope. None of us would have any foot to stand on. None of us would have anything to look forward to after this, except torment, of which we are all destined until the Lord saves us. And he has saved us. He has given us this free gift of salvation. And here we are, enjoying that free gift. And though we don't walk perfectly circumspectly with him, I would love it if we could. It would be amazing. Maybe something will change in the near future, and many of us will. I don't know. I'm putting it in the Lord's hands. I'm trusting him for it. Lead me, Lord, and I will follow. But while he prepares us and makes us ready, even though we fall short, even though we stumble and fall, even though we can't keep up, he loves us regardless. He called us by name, knew us before the world began. That tells me a lot. That speaks volumes about his love, that before the world was even formed, he knew who we were specifically. He knew us and called us by name. That's incredible. That's incredible to contemplate. How many millennia before the world was formed was he calling our name? And here we are now, saved, reading his word out loud for all creation to hear. Seeing his hands working in everything and everyone going on around us. It's an amazing miracle to have salvation. It's an incredible miracle to be saved in these last days. I shudder to think of what it would be like if salvation had never come. I don't think we would have made it this far. If it wasn't for the hand of the Lord making intercession for us, I don't think as humans we would have made it this far. But here we are, by the grace and mercy of God. And he's not done. There's more to come. See, a lot of people look at what the Lord is doing in these prophecies and like, look what he did. Look at all this stuff that's going on. How could you love a God that does those things and pours out all this wrath and punishes these people eternally for temporal sins? I don't see it from that perspective. I see it as a creator having a great deal of patience with his creation and extending their time out long after they would have normally, left to their own devices, obliterated themselves, extending their time out and blessing them over and over again. Even the evil ones he blesses. Grace is freely given to everyone, waiting for the proper time, a good time, a righteous time to bring about judgment. I see a creator that is going above and beyond with the love in his heart to show that towards everyone, even those that don't believe him, by giving them good lives, by providing for them, by saving them, protecting them. Many of them come into the faith, many don't. Irregardless, the love of the Lord is bestowed upon each one of them. The grace of the Lord is bestowed upon each one of them. See, I come up with an old saying, and it's an old saying now because I've been saying it for a long time. If all you ever look for is bad, all you'll ever see is bad. But if all you ever look for is good, you'll see good and bad. It's an incredible thing to be saved. It's an incredible thing to know your Lord and for him to know you. It's an amazing thing to stand on the shoulders of those that went before us, peeking over the wall and seeing what the Lord is about to do. And all of them in ages past saying, what do you see? What do you see? Because they all wanted to know, and here we are, able to see it. And it's just getting started. And we're here, witnessing it happen full on. And see if someone comes and says, oh, well, you guys this, you guys that. Oh, well, you can say that if you want, but I've got a great view, seeing something happening that you don't see happening. And we're both standing in the same spot, but there's things happening you can't see because your eyes haven't been open to it. Lord, open their eyes and make them see it. But we get to, because we're blessed above them, because we are sinners called by his name. And that is a wonderful thing indeed. Be thankful for what the Lord has done. Recognize and contemplate and meditate on what has happened, what has been done for you, what has been given for us, and the greatness and the full measure of the love in his heart towards men, towards sinners, towards unworthy people. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name, and I'll see you in the next video.